Welcome to another episode of Soap Thing Thoughts. Joining me today is Matt from Shaving the Day. Welcome to the Soap Thing Project.
Hey everybody, I'm glad to be here.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah,
Sounds
thanks for
like
having
you're
me.
a little busy with. You said off camera you were in grad school. Is that right?
Yeah, yep, I'm in grad school. I'm in my last semester here, so just finishing up. I'll be graduating in April.
Congratulations, man. That sounds like you've been doing a lot of hard work.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a process and I'm definitely ready to be done soon.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, no problem at all. I'm 26.
26, huh?
Yeah.
Sweet. It's nice to know that the wet shaving hobby isn't just us old farts hanging out. There's some younger people who are kind of seeing that this this hobby, this process, has legs, and that it's worth at least giving it a try. So we appreciate you being here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here and I'm glad that I discovered the hobby at the age of 25. Just so that I can continue to enjoy it, through the rest of my life.
So you've been doing this goofy thing where you shave in front of a camera. What's that all about? How did that get started?
Yeah, so I started wet shaving probably a year, probably coming up on almost 2 years now. Um, and I think I got into it after seeing like somebody's post about it or an ad or something on Facebook and just was curious about using safety razors and shaving in that way because I normally just used a cartridge or electric razor and never really had great shaves. Electric razor would give me a ton of irritation. And I'm a big fan of, vintage things. I collect records and shoot film photography. So safety razors always seemed kind of interesting to me. And then after kind of getting my feet wet in the hobby for a while and discovering different soaps and aftershaves and improving my technique, I just decided it would be a good idea to start a YouTube channel for myself to kind of document my shaves and be able to watch them and see where I screwed up or could improve my technique, but also just to kind of see where it went and review different products and hopefully create content that people would enjoy. And it's just been a really fun journey so far. I think I started it in April, so um, it's been probably about 9 months now, but the channel has grown way quicker than I could have expected or hoped, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's one of those things where a lot of people talk about getting into this hobby because they like to talk to other people and kind of spitball about the different things they're discovering and how much fun the hobby is, but very few people talk about the fact that your shaving videos are a very good documentation tool to kind of go back and reflect, especially if you know that you've got room for improvement. Going back to your old videos to look back and see what you could be doing differently to make things better is there's really no better tool than to save those old videos, like either on YouTube, which is what makes it a YouTube channel, or I actually have all my old videos backed up like on a hard drive. So if
Hmm.
something were to happen and my YouTube channel were to go away, every single one of those videos I could just re-upload on some other platform. So it's that's a good point. Not a lot of people talk about that. So let's segue into the topic of the day. So you picked out of the list I gave you scent categories. So here's how this is going to work. I have picked out 12 scent categories, and both of us have to kind of give our favorite or some of our favorites in that category. Now, here's the curveball. I know what the categories are, and I have my answers picked out already. You do not. So you're going to have to
Yes.
kind of do some thinking on the fly.
Okay.
So, but this should be fun though. I'm looking forward to this. So
Yeah.
let's do the first topic. What do we got here? The first category. I'm gonna go easy on you. Barbershop scents. What's the
Barbershop
best one you've
scents.
discovered so far?
That's an easy one for me. That's got to be Good Vibrations from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
Okay, talk about it. What's it smell like?
To me, so it's described as a boardwalk barbershop scent. To me, it smells powdery, which is probably one of my favorite qualities in a barbershop scent. It's got some sweetness to it, and it to me it does kind of have that old school quality to it. I'm not quite sure what scent note kind of brings that out, but it's very unique. It's a unique take on a barbershop for sure.
I think Good Vibration. Somebody in the comment section is going to tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that has teak wood in it
Yeah, I
as a
think you're
scent.
right.
Maybe I don't know. I'll put it at the bottom of the screen whether I'm wrong or right. Uh, for me, I'm a bit of a traditionalist when it comes to barbershop scents. Now, for my picks, I tried to pick things that you can buy currently because sadly, a lot of my all-time favorite stuff has been discontinued. So,
Mm-hmm.
but as far as barbershop scents, I like more traditional smelling ones. So it's got to be powdery, herbaceous, oak mossy, citrusy. And for me, the one that comes up to mind that fits that bill is Zingari Man the Wanderer is a good one
Mm-hmm.
because it's got that really typical old school kind of barbershop scent. I actually personally think the term barbershop is overutilized to
I
basically
agree.
be a catch-all term for just anything that you can't categorize any other way. Like I've smelled a lot of barbershop scents lately where I'm just like, that is not a barbershop. Like I don't know what that is. That is not a barbershop. Like I've had people call like Brute a barbershop scent, which it's like, okay, I mean that's a fougere, not a barbershop, but okay. But one of the other ones, I just grabbed a couple things for to just to kind of show to the camera. Moon Soaps Union is another one that I think kind of fits the bill of an old school type of barbershop. This one's nutmeg heavy, which is interesting. Most barbershop scents don't go that route.
Mhm.
So that's kind of where I would peg myself. Next category, woody scents. You gotta pick
Woody
something that's
scents.
wood heavy, cedar wood, sandalwood, oud heavy, something woody.
Okay, yeah, that's a great category. For Woody, I think I would say Taylorville Bond Street Platinum, Cobb's Platinum. It's kind of it's described as like a woody oriental scent, and it does kind of fit the bill for both. But I know it has several different types of wood in it, and it's just very masculine, very clean. I got the set that came with the cologne. Not sure if it's an EDT or what, but it is. Yeah, the wood scents just definitely come through strong, and it's a really nice one.
Oh, way to go picking a legacy soap. We don't see those around a lot lately.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Tabs is like no joke. Like a lot of people just kind of blow it off anymore, like they've evolved past it. But it's good stuff. It'll give you a great shave. There's nothing wrong with it.
yeah, I agree.
For me, probably the one that comes to mind that I have in my collection at the moment that is a really good woody scent is Cooper and French Sandalwood and Amber,
Mm,
and this one is sandalwood heavy, as you might expect. But it's got that little bit of that rich resinous kind of amber facet to it. It's not particularly complex, but it's a good smell. Some people might find this a bit boring because there's not that much going on, but I really kind of like it. It's a good darker sandalwood and resinous kind of amber thing going on.
mm.
Okay,
You
what do we
can't go
got
wrong with
next?
sandalwood.
Citrus, something citrusy.
Citrus, that's a really easy one for me. I got to go with Sterling Soap Company's Coconut Lime. I just can't get enough of that one. Um, yeah, I mean, it's not like a bunch of different citrus together. It's just the coconut, but With it mixing with like the creaminess of the lime, it just takes me straight to a beach somewhere, very tropical drink type of vibe. And I just every time I'm picking out a soap, I have to pick that one up and smell it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think that the tartness of the lime would kind of be subdued a little bit by the inherent sweetness and kind of creaminess of coconut, if that makes any
Hmm.
sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a great blend.
Oh, for me, probably sea spice lime from Seaforth. Like I know that
Love
one's
that.
almost a cliche at this point, like everybody has it, but there was a period where people were just drooling over that thing. Like everybody was doing reviews on it, like pretty much all at once.
Hmm.
You don't see it around too much anymore, but I think it's a great scent, salty lime. Really got that kind of sea spray going on, mixed with the tartness of the lime. So you end up with the like this kind of salty, tart, slightly sweet. Lime is one of those things where depending on what kind of scent oil you use or how you use it, it can either be very tart or very, very sweet. And very, very sweet lime, I'm kind of like, probably not my thing. I need a lime scent that's a little more pushing towards the tart side of things.
Hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I like a good tartness in there. The coconut lime is balanced from the sweetness of the coconut, and it works because the lime isn't too sweet on its own. But yeah, I have smelled sea spice lime, and that one is just amazing. Like you said, the salt really adds a new element to it as well. I've got a couple different lime scents. I've got Sicilian lime from Menrock. That's a really nice kind of tart lime scent. And yeah, we really can't go wrong with it.
All right, next category. What do we got? Old timey scents. You got to think of something old timey that your granddad would have used.
Old timey. Yeah, I think I have to go with Seaforth Heather, which is was recently brought back by Spearhead Shaving. Have not smelled the original, but that was one that I had to pick it up when I went into Maggart's. I went into the actual store and spent a couple hours walking around smelling everything, and that one was one that I just kept coming back to. Um, I smelled all of the Seaforth scents that they had, and that one was by far my favorite. It does kind of have like an Old Spice vibe, but to me, it's even more complex. And it's just really like intoxicating. Like I just couldn't stop smelling it. So I had to leave with that one.
Excuse me. Isn't Heather kind of more along the lines of a fougere?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I can actually grab it out of my closet real quick if you'd like me to go through the scent notes. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I know it's got like a few different spices. It's got clary sage. It's got some florals.
Yeah, I would think that it'd have like lavender and geranium in it
Yep, it's for sure got geranium. Yeah, yeah, I would say it's pretty good in the fougere category as well.
because that's kind of the typical recipe. The foundation of a fougere is it almost always has lavender and geranium in it,
Hmm.
as well as maybe some other like herbaceous notes.
Yeah.
For me, I gotta go with PAA Cold Spices, which is a Old Spice dupe. It's recreating the scent that Old Spice used to be, rather than kind of recreating what Old Spice smells like right now. Another one from PAA that they brought back towards the end of January. This is going to be released probably in February by the time we get it out, but they did briefly re-release Sundown from
Mm.
PAA, which is a recreation of the Gillette Sun Up scent from the 1960s, and that is a fuddy-duddy scent. It really is quite kind of silly the way it smells, but for some reason I really like it. It's got a really just kind of old-fashioned 50s and 60s smell to it.
Mhm.
For those of you who had a chance to pick it up, it's wonderful stuff. Okay, moving on down the line. Now we're going into seasonals. So we got summer, fall, winter, and spring. So if you were a seasonal shaver, what would you pick for the hot balls of summer?
Mm, that is a good question. Summer. Um, in the summer, I really do like using menthol. Um, I do enjoy kind of my citrusy tropical scents, but I really do enjoy using menthol, maybe after I mow the lawn or something is a really hot day. So I have peppermint and lavender from the Sudsy Soapery, and the cooling effect from that menthol, especially in the splash, is just really, really nice. And you get that tingliness of the menthol, or excuse me, the peppermint too. Really, really love that scent for the summer.
For me, it's got to be probably Sterling Gin and Tonic, just because it's got that lime and I can't think of the ingredient that's in gin. Juniper berries. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Juniper berries, lemon, and lime. And their gin and tonic on the rocks is kind of their glacial version of it. That's like loaded down with menthol, and that's for some reason I just love that combination. The combination of the juniper berries and the lime just really. I had a sample of it a while back, and I spent pretty much every off-camera shave using up that sample, and it took me about almost a month to use it. It was good stuff. Another one to toss around, maybe Master Soap Creations Frosted Lavender.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that Master Soap Creations does very well is they use just an insane amount of menthol in a lot of their frosted lineup. So frosted lavender's case, you get a good dose of lavender, but you get like basically a sterling glacial level of menthol added to it, and it's really good for international customers because their aftershaves don't have alcohol, but they do have all that freaking menthol in it. And so if you are somebody who likes to feel the burn, you're going to feel the burn because it's going to have an insane amount of menthol in it. So yeah, I can't say enough good things about the frosted offerings in Master Soap Creations. All
Yeah,
right,
that
moving
sounds
on
really
to
nice.
fall. What's a good fall scent?
A good fall scent. I don't actually own this one yet. Aaron from Double A Shave sent me a sample of it, and I just fell in love with it. Definitely plan on picking it up this year, but it's got to be Cider House 5. Just such a nostalgic scent. Yep, there it is. I love going to apple orchards in the fall and doing all the fall type activities. And it's just in a incredible scent the way that they blended it just really brings out the nostalgia. I think it's got apple crisp leaves, mulled wine, um, some pipe tobacco and linseed oil, I believe, are the five notes.
Yeah,
Someone,
it's kind of earthy, slightly boozy,
yep,
kind of a little bit of a hard apple cider take on that sort of thing.
yep,
But
yeah.
as you can clearly see, this would have been my pick too. Was PAA Cider House 5. I don't think there's any better apple cider scent for the fall time of the year. Good stuff. Yeah, definitely pick it up, man.
Yeah, that's the plan.
You're not going to regret it. Okay, moving on. What's a good scent for the dead nuts of winter?
For winter, so I like in the winter I like warm, kind of more complex, deep scents, sweeter scents. So my winter pick would be Haverford from Sterling. which is based on Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. And it is
Smart
just
man.
that was the first soap that I ever got, and it is still definitely in my probably top five, if not top three.
No, Haverford is the shit. I love that stuff. Well, I don't have, I've had a sample of Haverford, but I have a full size tub of the Murphy and McNeil Tabac Finet, I think is how you pronounce it, which is the same thing. It's their take on Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. It's good stuff. Like there's a few people that are doing interpretations of that now, and it's really phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, it's
From Go ahead.
oh, sorry. It's interesting because I guess there's some people that buy extra bottles of the aftershave specifically to age them. Because it does have like that vanillin in it, and so like as they sit and age, the aftershave itself turns kind of a darker brown color, and I've heard that it smells even better, if you've had one that you left unopened for, a year or two or maybe even longer.
I didn't know that. I seriously didn't know that was a thing. I'm gonna have to try that now. Now I'm curious.
Yeah, I've
Um,
had my splash for probably almost 2 years now, and it's the color is definitely changing.
right. But the soap will slowly do that. That much I do know is
Mhm.
the soap color will slowly evolve as time goes by. I didn't know the aftershave would do that though. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Well, you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Um, for me, I gotta pick Highland Springs Soap Company Tobacco Oud.
Mm.
Uh, that was just right up my alley. When they came out with that, it was like they were reading my mind. And Highland Springs Soap Company, if you don't have anything from them yet, you gotta check them out because the quality of the lather that you get from that. Holy crap! One of the best Canadian soap makers there is. It's really incredible stuff.
I am currently writing that down because I had never even heard of Highland Springs Soap Company, but I
A
gotta
lot
check
of
them
people get
out.
them confused with HC&C, but Highland Springs Soap Company out of British Columbia, I think. In my opinion, if you take tallow and steel out of the equation, they are the best Canadian soap maker as far as quality of soap
Hmm.
and just slickness. Like I've never experienced anything better from the people upstairs. Uh, Springtime, moving into spring weather. What are you going to use?
Springtime. Let's see. So in spring, I would definitely prefer to use some more floral type of scents. Some that come to mind would be bringing Tobbs back out. Tobbs Rose and Lavender. Those are just both amazing scents, and it's just one scent note, but they're just wonderful. I mean, you can get lavender, and lavender can be kind of harsh sometimes, depending on the type of lavender used. But it's just a little sweet, and the rose is really nice too. And kind of in the same vein, I have Sterling's bergamot lavender, which is really nice as well. The lavender is a little bit more harsh in that one, but it is balanced nicely by the bergamot. Those are all good spring scents.
Yeah, yeah. You and me, it turns out, are not so different because springtime is when I'm breaking out all the floral scents, like the rose, the fougères, the lavender scents. Personally, I like a darker, more peppery lavender, and so that's a good excuse to break out. Master Soap Creations frosted lavender would be during springtime. Yeah, yeah, definitely springtime is a good time to bring out Master Soap Creations frosted lavender. I'm a particularly big fan of Castle Forbes lavender.
Mhm.
Castle Forbes soaps are expensive. They are $45 for a puck, but you get 6.7 ounces, and that stuff is so fuel efficient. Good luck using up a tub in your entire life if you got any kind of hobby in this. It's not going to happen. But by the way, shout out to Castle Forbes. probably the very best quality lather of any legacy soap I've ever seen is Castle Forbes. It's better than most artisan soaps as far as like the ease of use and the quality of lather. It really is almost unbeatable stuff. What's next? Boozy. Got to pick a boozy scent.
Boozy scent. Boozy. Gotta think about that one a minute. I don't necessarily think I have a whole lot of boozy scents. Maybe if you go first, by the time you say yours, I'll have something in mind.
Okay, I'll take a pass and I'll go first. Probably Ariana and Evan's signature has got to be my favorite boozy scent, just because their use of bourbon and sandalwood. There's other notes in it, but the biggest notes to me are bourbon and sandalwood, and it just comes out like this really sweet, woody richness. I mean, signature looks exactly like this, and wow, it's this is easily my favorite scent from Ariana and Evans is signature from the Shaving Shop Club. Uh, HC&C Southern Comfort is another good one that comes to mind. Good bourbon scent with some other things in there. Those would be the two of them that come to mind at the moment. There's other stuff in my collection, but at the moment, those are the two biggest boozy scents that I'm aware of.
Okay. Yeah. I've got a sample of HC&C's Southern Comfort. That's really nice. Really nice bourbon in that, and it's not. I don't always like the smell of bourbon, but I think it's just really well blended. It's not like an offensive type of bourbon. It's smooth and it's sweet. So that's a good one. The other one I could think of is Henri Victoria's cognac and Cuban cigars. That one's really nice. I'm a big fan of tobacco too, so just the blend of those, kind of the booziness of the cognac and the sweetness of the tobacco is really nice.
Yeah, that's cool. Boozy scents are one of those things where um people kind of tread lightly just a little bit, because some boozy scents, like for example, Katie's Bubbles Irish Coffee, that stuff on the nose smells really alcoholic, which can put some people off.
Yeah.
But generally, at least lately, a lot of soap makers have been really good about not giving you those harsh notes from the boozy scents where it's kind of rough around the edges, like you're smelling a glass of whiskey. That's not usually what you're going to get out of a boozy scent from most artisans these days. Okay, what do we got next? Bay Rum. There's a classic one for you. Bay Rum. Let's hear it.
Bay rum. So I'm not necessarily a huge Bay rum fan. It's I really like Doug from PAA's takes on them because they don't have clove, and I think that's what it is for me. Is I'm not a big fan of clove. I have smelled Sterling's Bay rum and it's nice, but the Bay rums from PAA are my favorite. I've got Atomic Age Bay rum, and that's probably my favorite. I haven't smelled all of them. I would love to smell, the pineapple one, the coconut with lime, some of those more tropical ones, but the Atomic Age Bay rum it's very smooth, super masculine, and man, does that splash project too. I mean, you really don't have to use much and you'll be smelling it all day long.
Yeah, that's cool. I've been on the fence about getting Atomic Age Bay Rum for a while. I might have to really take a serious second look at it. Um, I have PAA's Pineapple Bay Rum, which is just the pineapple scent kind of takes the edge all the way off of that, so it makes it smell pretty inoffensive. For me, the bay rum that I've been using the most lately is another Master Soap Creations, Frosted Bay Rum, just because the insane amount of menthol in it kind of drowns out the scent to where it's more something that I'm willing to tolerate. I don't like the kind of spices that go into bay rum. And I don't think it's just the clove. I think a lot of bay rums have cinnamon and allspice and all this other stuff in it. I'm not even sure that I'm the biggest fan of bay leaf, but Angora Soaps, who sadly has kind of halted making soaps for a while, had a really good bay rum, and then Master Soap Creations frosted bay rum is kind of where what I've been using lately.
I can see what you mean about like the menthol and the pineapple taking the edge off of it because yeah, I think with a bay rum you do need something to kind of soften it up a little bit.
Right. Because I've got the Royal Bay Rum aftershave. It's those really expensive aftershave bottles that come in those really cool boxes. Um, and that stuff smells like an old school kind of bay rum from like the 1940s and 50s. It's really imposing. So I think a lot of soap companies that are putting like pineapple or menthol in their bay rums to kind of tone things down just a little bit appeals more to younger people who aren't looking for something quite so harsh. Next one is fragrance dupe. What's your favorite scent that is inspired or duped from a popular men's designer or niche fragrance?
Mm. I've got quite a few. This is one thing that I think Sterling does an excellent job of. All of their dupes that I've smelled are really, really nice. I would say Sterling's Mountain Man is probably my favorite, which is based on Creed's Silver Mountain Water. And that's one of my fiance's favorites too. That's what she wants me to wear on our wedding day coming up in March. Just can't get enough of that one. Even like that company, Cremo, that they've got, shave cream and stuff like that. They have a dupe of that scent as well that I use for body wash, and I'm just always reaching for it.
Yeah, it's a good one. Sterling Mountain Man. I've got that scent across the room over there. I would get up and get it to show the camera, except I'm not currently wearing pants. Otherwise, I would happily jump up and do that. But I there's a lot of soap makers that are doing Creed dupes, Aventus, Green Irish Tweed, Erolfa, Silver Mountain Water, Virgin Island Water. If I'm going to pick a Creed dupe, it's got to be Creed Himalaya, which is where Sterling Ramblin' Man comes in, just because it's like a woody musk bomb to your face. I don't know why. I like musky scents. I adore musky scents for reasons I don't understand. Because it used to be that those scents were kind of off putting, but I don't know. The older I get, the more I think I'm kind of getting turned on to musky scents. For me though, if I'm talking about a fragrance dupe, it's got to be Murphy and McNeil Mauve Churd, just because I think they do a killer Tom Ford Oud Wood dupe that I've seen very few other artisans able to pull off quite as good as they do it.
Hmm.
So that's one of my all-time favorite scents, period, is Murphy and McNeil Mauve Churd. Like I've came this close to getting a bottle of Tom Ford Oud Wood a couple times. I'm just waiting to find one on a discounter that's just getting down to the price where I want it, and then I'm gonna nab that thing. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Okay. One more topic. So the final one is a question mark. So it
Mhm.
has to be something that's so peculiar and just way out in left field, such that it defies categorization.
Mhm. Yeah, kind of just like something completely unique and out there. I think I'm gonna have to go with probably Eigengrau from Barrister and Mann. It's supposed to smell kind of like a frozen tundra. And it really does. It's like if you see the label art, it's a frozen tundra, and you get that kind of like mossy, like lichen scent coming through, and maybe a little bit of like pine, or evergreen, and that it. I don't know how they make it smell like snow, like I don't know, just that frozen effect, but they really do. It's super unique. Probably unlike anything else I have in my den. I don't have the splash, but just going off the soap, they really pull that one off for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was a phenomenal one. I'm pretty sure I got that in my collection back in the States, but they Barrister and Mann had this unique ability to recreate the scent version of when there's snow on the ground and it's just like bitter cold. Like we're talking below zero temperatures where it's just like that kind
Hmm.
of biting cold where it's too dry for there to be really any moisture. And so the scent you're getting is kind of just like the briskness of the environment.
Hmm.
And you can make anything into a scent. It really is amazing what these people are capable of. Uh, for me, probably Shannon's soaps, the Warrior. That was the Kim Gray soap, just because it's this like out of nowhere, like sugary baby powder scent. Like I really liked it. I thought it was really good, but nobody in their normal mind state of mind would have come up with something like that. Like it was a fundraising soap, obviously. It was to raise money for Kim Gray, who was and is struggling with cancer. And it was kind of meant to appeal to her. And I, like I said, I really liked it, but it was just one of those like, where do you get this idea from? Kind of
Hmm.
thing. Another one that I think defies categorization pretty well is Etched from 345. This was basically 345 did this thing where we're going to pick a consumer and we're going to let you kind of help us design a scent. And they came up with Etched, which is a powdery barbershop with coffee and leather added to it. And a lot of people still associate this with being a barbershop scent. No, the hell it's not. Not anymore. Like this stuff is has so much more extra nuances added to it that it takes it outside of the barbershop category to some place where I wouldn't know what to call it, but it's not a barbershop. Not anymore. It smells like nothing I've ever smelled before. It's kind of weird because
Hmm.
it's got this powdery, coffee, leathery, herbaceous kind of. It's just all over the place. It's just wonderful stuff, but completely defies categorization, in my personal opinion. Well, what do you think we learned from this? I definitely got a couple of ideas of the stuff I want to put on my to do list.
Yeah, I definitely did as well. I'm glad you introduced me to some new artisans that I can check out as well. Yeah, there's so many different categories out there. And it's nice to have, something from most of the categories in your den just for variety. But it is hard to choose in some of your favorite categories as well if you had to narrow it down to one.
Yeah, once you get to where you just have so much, getting it down to start when you have to start racking and stacking, that's when things get hard.
Hmm.
Let me ask you a final question before we do the
Sure.
frag out and get out of here. Um, a lot of people who we try to introduce to wet shaving, don't give it an honest run. You know, we all don't know those people that tried it once and they're like, "Nah, I'm good."
Hmm.
Uh, when you reach that point where you decided, "I am sticking with this and I'm going to make it work," what did you have to learn in that space?
Hmm. I think I was pretty confident going into it that I was going to stick with it. I figured, it might not start out the greatest, as far as technique, I figured I'd cut myself up pretty good here and there. But it was knowing that it could be a much better shave and a much more enjoyable experience for something that normally felt like a chore. made me really just want to stick with it. And I'll tell you, the first time I shaved with a safety razor, I had a vintage Gillette Tech, and I was nervous because I didn't know, how easy it was to cut yourself. And I had seen, videos of people shaving with really poor technique, really messing their face up. So it probably took me an hour to shave just because I was going so slow and careful. And I did cut myself many times during that shave. I was applying way too much pressure, but just the whole experience with making the lather, experiencing the aromatherapy of the scent, and you know, using something that has been tried and true for a long time that provides a good shave just made it, I fell in love with it right away. I knew I was going to have to work on my technique a lot, but I knew at that point that I was hooked.
Well said, man. Well said. I got to tell you a funny story. The very first shave I ever did with a safety razor was with a Gillette Tech, and I got to tell you, I was nervous going into it, and that was a I got a near perfect shave because I was so nervous. There wasn't a spot on me. It was everything you could ask for out of a double-edged shave. Now that didn't work out to my benefit because then I got cocky, and the next, I don't know, 100 shaves was an epic shred fest where I could not figure out what I got right the first time. It took me seriously like half a year to replicate that success, and that's what kept me in it. It was like, okay, I got this right the first time. What the hell am I not doing right? And
Mhm.
it took me a long time to figure it out. And most people would have given up in the time it took me to get good shaves. But I was like, I at least want to see this through until I figure out how I did it the first time. And then by the time I figured it out, it was just like, well, I may as well stay here. So, all right, let's go ahead and do the frag out and then we can get out of here. What do we got?
All right. I have Arcadia from Sterling.
Ooh, Terre d'Hermes.
Yep.
That's like let me guess. Let me break it down for you. It's kind of a dirty gunpowdery orange sort of thing.
Yeah, that's a good description. It's got a lot of vetiver in it too. Kind of a smoky orange, woody. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's good stuff. I've just got the Blue de Chanel. There's nothing
Mm.
terribly interesting about this. It's just a woody, ambergris, grapefruity sort of thing. Well, let's go ahead and spray this stuff on. So, what about uh, Arcadia resonates with you?
Um, that I almost said that for my favorite dupe. I just got a sample of it from Sterling. I bought just, maybe 10 samples, and just based on the scent notes, I thought I would enjoy it and had no idea I would enjoy it as much as I do. Um, and I would say from Sterling, it's probably the scent that I have that projects the most and is the most long lasting. And yeah, there's just something about like that smoky, dirty orange smell that I absolutely love. I've gotten all kinds of compliments when wearing it. It's just a good favorite.
Good man, good on you. If you like that scent, you might consider checking out Ariana Evans' L'Orange Vert.
Mm-hmm.
That is smells fairly similar. It's a little sweeter and more effervescent, a little bit more in that orange soda kind of space.
Mm,
But it's
that's nice.
it's a good scent. If you like orange scents that are kind of rough around the edges, that's another one for you to check out. Well, do you have any parting words of wisdom before we get out of here? Something that you can pass along to those who may come after you?
Yeah. I would say if you're getting started in the wet shaving journey or thinking about it, or maybe you've been in it for a while. Maybe you're thinking about potentially getting your feet wet with a YouTube channel. I would say take that step, at least for yourself, for your own documentation, like we talked about. It's a really useful tool. You can always go back and rewatch and learn things from your shaves. And, then you have it all there, and it's something that you can, put some work into, be proud of, and, maybe even show your kids or your grandkids. For me, it's just been a really enjoyable experience. I would say just be real, be genuine. Don't try and be someone that you're not. Be your own self on camera. And, like there's some people that, if they get nicks or whatever, like they try and hide them, or they never, point it out, like I'm trying to learn from my shave. So if I nick myself up good, I'm gonna point it out. I'm gonna show it, because I want people to be able to learn from my content as well.
Yeah, yeah, not this guy. If I get nicks, I show you pretty much every time, unless I didn't notice they were there.
Mhm.
And I'm one of those people that I get nicks probably 20% of the time. But the thing is, by the time I go to work, you don't even notice they were there. So I think there's a lot of stigma behind, oh, I cut myself shaving. Well, not really.
Mhm.
I mean, it certainly isn't as bad as a lot of people think it is. So, well, Matt, it's been a pleasure. I want to thank you for coming on here and taking time out of your day to do this. It's been a lot of fun. You're welcome back anytime. And until next time, this is Soap Thing telling you, shave like you mean it. Thanks for watching.